Hello and welcome to the Park Winters Flower Farm. It is another gorgeous day. Summer is off to a great start. There's so many things to do and the season moves quickly, especially when you're in the garden and you have a large variety of flowers. Things are rising and then some things are falling. And so I have a bunch of chores to do, and I thought that I would focus on showing you today all the different aspects of the things that we do in a day of farming. In fact, I'm just going to show you a smidgen of what we do because I can't do it all in one day. So I have to pick my battles. So I usually go from most important down the list. And today I have it out for this sweet pea row that's growing on hog wire. After I take the sweet peas down, I don't want to be left with a bare hog wire fence. And so I was thinking, what can I plant that would grow this time of year, but not come back and smother it so that the sweet peas have a chance to come back? So I asked Rosie at Morning Sun Herb Farm, and she suggested scarlet runner beans. And I looked them up. They look very interesting. They have like a magenta color. And I'm just growing them for the flower and to enjoy them and to see what they're like. And because they're an annual, that's going to work for me because now that it's summer, the sweet peas are dried, we've harvested the pods. Now I'm going to plant some scarlet runner beans along the base of it and enjoy them, see what they're like, and they might even taste good. I've never tasted them, but I'm just growing them for the flower for starters. So I'm going to focus on taking down these sweet peas today. And then later I'm going to put in compost at the base and plant the scarlet runner beans, and I'm excited about it. Aside from that, I'm going to do a few other things of some plants that I'm planting, and I have to water and just kind of look around and make sure that everything's running well, because I have a small window of time from Monday to like early Thursday to have everything ready, because when guests start to arrive at the Park Winters Flower Farm, or when people come to the Park Winters side for a family event or a wedding, everything needs to look good. And the garden is not forgiving. There are things that just from one week to the next, they flop over and you have to take care of it, because everyone would like the gardens to look beautiful on their special day. And I am focused on making sure that we deliver. And I would say that I really love what I do, and it's a real joy. I also tell my friends that this is the kind of thing that if you didn't love it, you would hate it. And there's many things that I don't do well, but gardening is in my heart. And those of you who are gardeners can relate to what I'm saying. And so I can't think of a better thing to have to do today than to do the sweet pea row removal. And so everyone I'm working with, I said, don't bother me, I'm going to be working in the garden, I have to do this, etc. And so I'm out of some of the office work, because when it's beautiful outside and it's earlier in the day, when it's not too hot, I like to get everything done. And then midday, post lunch, I like to take care of some of the responsibilities I have inside with computer work or responding to texts and emails, etc. But right now I'm going to forget about all of that, and I'm going to get going on working on removing the sweet peas. I'm only halfway done and my heart rate is going. So anyone who thinks that gardening is not exercise, you haven't done it enough, because when you think about all the steps that we take in and out of our trucks, walking around, gardening, kneeling, standing, and today just taking down this sweet pea. It's another level of body movement. My heart rate is going, so I don't think I'm gonna need to do any extra exercise later today. I wish you could hear the sounds of these sweet peas as I'm inside of them, because it's like I'm ripping and tearing and it's cathartic, and I can see how some of those places that you can go and like demolish things. If I thought about it, I could have called a few friends that need to de-stress and help me take this down, because this is right up there with a demolition day, and demolishing day is one of my favorite parts of a project. And so I'm going to think about that while I do this and just get through it, because the temperatures are rising and it's no joke. So I'm going to get to finishing the rest of this project. I wanted to get up close so that you all could feel and hear what it's like, because it is somehow de-stressing, cathartic. I don't know what you call it, but I thought it was interesting enough that I want you to see and hear all this ASMR. I'm almost done, but I can't get too excited because this is only my second chore that I've accomplished today, and I've got a list of things that I have to do. I'm not complaining because I love working in the garden. I can't think of a better way to spend my day. There's a sense of accomplishment when you get things done in the garden, and I know many of you can relate. And getting projects done in the garden, watching the plants grow, watching them go dormant until the following year just gives me hope. And also I can practically tell what time of year it is and the time of day just by the weather, the pollinators that are around here, and the birds that are migrating. It's so beautiful to live the seasons and the days through nature, because nature doesn't stop. It is probably the most accurate clock. And just looking at the stars at night, and right now it's a very dark time of year because it's a new moon. And so the visibility is amazing. The daytime magic is happening. And I could just go on, but I got to get to work and finish my project, because if I cool off, I might want to put it down, and I really want to get these scarlet runner beans in the ground. Check it out. Look at how fast my truck got loaded up. I have to pack it in because I'm gonna take all the sweet peas and I'm gonna put them in our compost and let them turn to beautiful soil that we can turn back into the rows and keep feeding all of our plants. But as I was rolling them up and mashing them down, I was thinking, because I need more room in the back of my truck, that I've never done this, but I'm not going to deprive myself of the idea, because I thought, how cool would it be is if I mashed them down and I just jumped on a bed of sweet peas. Have any of you jumped on a bed of sweet peas? I'm going to do it for the first time, and I'm just going to give myself a little moment of fun, because gardening to me is fun and it should always feel fun. It feels like I'm crushing grapes. Okay, I can say that I jumped on a bed of sweet peas. There's a first time for everything. I'm not sure that I need to do this again, but I wanted to get this experience out of my skin. I hope y'all can relate. Water and sun and heat is your friend when you're making compost. And I think this is the fastest time of year when we can turn a compost pile with the help of the sun and the heat. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a hose with what I call a water donut on top, and I'm gonna let it trickle slowly so that it can really ooze in. And then I'll let it sit for 2 or 3 days. Because it's so hot, the water will evaporate, and then I'll do it again every 2 or 3 days until I start getting it mushy, and then you sort of get the hang of it, and you watch your compost in different stages, and you just innately know when it's needing more water so that it continue to decompose. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the hose on it now, and I'm going to get back to work. This here is one of the compost piles that's finishing cooking. I dressed it with some cuttings from the grass when it was cut, and just to insulate it. But when I dig down a little bit, like right just here already, just a few inches down, there's worms in it. This soil is alive. Right here in my hand, I have at least 5 worms, and I just dug down just a little bit. So they help us do the job, and boy, this smells like it's ready. I'm going to maybe just turn it one more time and add it to the flower rows of the perennials and some of the new plantings that we had. But check it out. Isn't that amazing how nature just helps? They help us, and they make the little tunnels, separate the soil, and there's so much to it. Their droppings are nutritious. I love the process, and it took me about 8 or 9 years to figure out composting. And once I figured out that it was sun and water, I was off and running. I got the knack of it, and now I'm actually really into it, and I look forward to it every year. This is an example of how I juggle several projects at once. Last night I placed these plants, and I was vibing out where they should go, and before I put them in, I like to kick them around and make sure that they're in the right place. But then I got busy taking down the sweet pea on the hog wire, and it got super hot, and I went to lunch, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pushing myself because the temperatures are rising. And what I do this time of day is I pick the chores that are easier to do, like watering and other things that I do in the shade. And so I want to go in now and get out of this heat, but I still have quite a few things to do. And if I don't take care of these plants that I have sitting here that get babied at the nursery, before I put them in the ground, they're gonna die. So every 2 or 3 hours, I'm coming out here and watering them, and I'm gonna put them in the ground later today. But for now, I'm gonna water them. And before I water the plants, I'm gonna water myself because I get overheated. And so I've learned that putting water on the top of my head really cools me off. And sometimes when I do it, I feel like that commercial where you just like flip your head back and you see people watering their heads. So just imagine when I wet my head and I flip my head back of that. I just get a chuckle out of myself doing silly things. But this watering your head hack really works. And so check it out. Can you see it? Oh my gosh, that feels so good. I've got water on my head. This pill hat just kind of floats on my head and it lets the breeze cool me off. And I got some water running down my back. And now I'm gonna cool off these plants and get to some other things that I've got going on today. And it's always exciting for me when I put in a new garden and plant new plants because they bring a lot of joy to me, and it's like painting with flowers and trees. Even though I have most of the plants where I think I want them, I'm going to still kick them around a little bit more. Some of you might think it's a little anal. My process is a little slow, but most of the times I'm pretty satisfied that I made the right decision. And, you know, sometimes you have to like measure a few times before you cut. And in my case, that is true. And we all have different methods, and this is mine. I'm so dirty from ripping and tearing, and before going in my house, I had to take off my dirty shoes and socks, and I'm gonna take off my dusty clothing, jump in the shower so that I don't get the rest of my house dirty while I take a midday break. Oh, hey, Tiny. Do you want to take a little relax with me? Huh? Let's get some rest together. Let's go get some rest. So I'm going to collect as many pods of the sweet peas as possible to share with friends and people who come over here on tours, etc. Look at how cool all these sweet pea seeds. So now the hog wire fence is totally cleaned from the sweet peas. Now I'm gonna plant these scarlet runner beans, and I'm just doing it for fun instead of just having a bare wall. I've never grown them. I'm just growing them for fun, and my friend Rosie at the nursery recommended that I grow these while I wait for the sweet peas to come back next year. And so this is my first time growing these guys, and they are scarlet runner beans, but there's also another variety called the painted ladies. So I'm just interdispersing them at the base of the hog wire, and like I said, I'm growing them for fun, and I'm intrigued because they are scarlet colored inside, and it's going to be a fun project, and it's just going to add more life and give more color later in the season. So we put this beautiful compost from our compost pile down along the base of the hog wire. So I'm just going to take these scarlet runner beans, and I'm going to plant them interdispersed through along the base of the hog wire, and just have fun and enjoy them, because now that the sweet peas are over, instead of just having a bare wall for the rest of the year, I'm going to grow these. They're an annual. I suspect that it might be a little late in the season to plant them, but I'm going to do it anyway. I had to come over here and take a closer look at the sunset. It's really beautiful. Evenings are so special. Coming back out to the garden and enjoying a little bit more time in nature is pretty much my favorite thing to do. So I'm just over here at the what we call the Sunset Lounge. There's an old silo over there, and our drying barn in the background, and this fire feature. It's probably about 15 feet tall. It's made out of repurposed concrete, but coming out and seeing these sunsets are very special to me. It's a very special time of day, and I'm just glad I spent my day gardening. I came back out here after it cooled off, and look at that sun go. It's been a long day in the garden, and I'm glad that I mustered up the energy to come back out and do a few more things and enjoy this beautiful sunset. But it's time to call it a day and go rest, eat something. And it's just been wonderful documenting all the things that I do in a day. And every day is different because every season's different. And I work with the seasons, the sun, the rain, the heat. And today I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you. And I hope everyone got out in their garden or did something creative today.